I cheated on Sarah 3 years into our marriage. Not physically. Not yet. But I let another woman into my head, into my phone, into the small hours of the night when my wife slept beside me. I told myself it was harmless. Just talking. Just appreciating someone who seemed to understand me better than Sarah ever could. Her name was Michelle. We worked together. She laughed at my jokes. She made me feel like the version of myself I wanted to be, not the tired husband who forgot anniversaries and fell asleep during movies. The emotional affair lasted 6 months before Sarah found the messages. I still remember her face when she confronted me, phone shaking in her hands, tears streaming down her cheeks. She looked like I'd physically struck her. "How could you?" she whispered. After everything? I didn't understand what she meant by everything then. I should have asked. Instead, I begged. I cried. I promised it would never happen again. I swore Michelle meant nothing. I deleted everything, quit that job, went to therapy. Sarah stayed. She forgave me, though I'm not sure she ever forgot. We rebuilt. Slowly. Painfully. We had our daughter, Emma, 2 years later. Life moved forward, and I convinced myself I earned my second chance. But I never forgot the look on Sarah's face that night. The betrayal. The devastation. The way she said after everything like there was some deeper wound I'd reopened. That was 7 years ago. Now I'm sitting in a hospital room, holding my mother-in-law's hand as she takes her final breaths. Carol had been sick for months. Pancreatic cancer. Sarah had been by her side constantly, and I tried to support them both, driving back and forth, making sure Emma got to see her grandmother, being the husband and son-in-law I should have been from the start. Carol's eyes flutter open. Her grip on my hand tightens with surprising strength for someone so frail. "James," she rasps. Sarah went to get coffee. It's just us in this sterile room, machines beeping steadily. "I need to tell you something. About Sarah." "Save your strength," I say gently. "You can tell me later." There is no later. Her voice is urgent now, almost panicked. "You need to know. You need to understand why she is the way she is." I lean closer. "What do you mean?" "Sarah's not who she told you she was." The words come out broken, punctuated by labored breaths. Her name. Her past. The college she went to. The friends she talked about. None of it's real. My blood runs cold. "What are you talking about?" "She changed everything. 10 years ago. Before she met you." Carol's eyes filled with tears. She was running. From a terrible relationship. A man who hurt her so badly that she had to disappear completely. She legally changed her name. Created a new identity. Cut off everyone from her old life. Even her father doesn't know where she is. I can't breathe. The machines keep beeping. But everything else has gone silent. I'm the only one who knows, Carol continues, squeezing my hand harder. The only one she trusted with the truth. She made me promise never to tell anyone. But you're her husband. You deserve to know who you're really married to. Why are you telling me this now? My voice sounds distant, like someone else is speaking. Because when I'm gone, you'll be the only family she has left to know she exists. And because... She stops, coughs sweatily. Because I saw what it did to her when you betrayed her. It wasn't just cheating to her, James. It was her worst nightmare coming true again. Being hurt by someone she trusted. Someone she'd let past all her walls. The room tilts. I think I might be sick. Her real name is Rachel Morrison. She's from Oregon, not California. She never went to UCLA. She dropped out of Portland State in her junior year when she ran. The scar on her shoulder that she told you was from a car accident? He gave her that. With a broken bottle. Carol's breathing becomes more labored. A nurse appears at the door, but Carol waves her away weakly. She built a whole new life because the old one almost killed her. And then she met you and thought she was safe. Thought she could finally stop running. When she found those messages on your phone, it broke something in her that hadn't healed. She stayed because she loves you. Because she had already burned every other bridge. Because she had nowhere else to go. The nurse is back now, checking Carol's monitors, adjusting something on the fourth. Carol's grip loosens on my hand. "Don't tell her I told you," she whispers. "Let her tell you herself if she ever feels safe enough. I just needed you to know. To understand what you have. What you almost threw away. What you still could lose if you're not careful. Mom?" Sarah's voice comes from the doorway. She's holding 2 coffee cups, and her face goes pale when she sees her mother's distress. She rushes to the other side of the bed. "Mom, I'm here." Carol looks at her daughter, tears streaming down her withered cheeks. "I love you, sweetheart. I'm so proud of who you became." So proud you survived. I love you too, Sarah sobs, clutching her mother's hand. I watch them, these two women sharing a moment of goodbye, and I realize I don't know my wife at all. The woman I've shared a bed with for 10 years. The mother of my child. The person whose trust I shattered with messages to someone who meant nothing. Carol dies 20 minutes later with both of us holding her hands. At the funeral, I watch Sarah accept condolences from friends and coworkers. She's composed, gracious, thanking everyone for coming. I wonder how many of them know the truth. I'm guessing none. She's kept her secret for a decade, maybe longer. That night, after we put Emma to bed, I find Sarah sitting in the dark living room, staring at nothing. Are you okay? I ask, knowing it's a stupid question. She was the only person who really knew me, Sarah says quietly. The only person from before. My heart stops. Is she about to tell me? Should I tell her I know? But she doesn't say anything else. She just sits there in the darkness, mourning her mother and her past and everything she's lost. I sit down beside her and take her hand. It feels like holding something fragile and explosive at the same time. Like if I squeeze too hard or let go too fast, everything will shatter. I love you, I say, and I mean it. But I also don't know if the person I love even exists, or if she's just a construction Sarah built to survive. I love you too, she whispers back. We sit in silence, and I realize Carol was right. I almost threw this away. This woman who trusted me with a life she built from nothing, who let me in past walls constructed from trauma and survival. And I betrayed that trust for 6 months of late-night messages with someone whose last name I can't even remember now. The weight of that hits me like a physical blow. A week after the funeral, I'm going through Carol's things with Sarah. We're at her mother's house, packing up a lifetime of belongings. Sarah is in the bedroom, sorting through clothes. I'm in the living room, boxing up books. I find a photo album tucked behind some encyclopedias. It's old, leather-bound, worn at the edges. Against my better judgment, I open it. The first pages show a little girl with Sarah's eyes but different everything else. Lighter hair, rounder face, a different smile. The name Rachel is written in faded ink beneath several photos. I flip through slowly, watching this girl grow up. Childhood birthday parties, school photos, a teenage girl with braces and a basketball uniform. Then the photos stop abruptly. The last one shows a young woman, maybe 20, standing in front of a college building. She's smiling, but there's something uncertain in her eyes. No more photos after that. Just empty black pages where life should have continued. What are you looking at? I jump. Sarah is standing in the doorway, a box of her mother's jewelry in her hands. Her eyes lock onto the album, and her face goes completely white. That shouldn't be here, she says, her voice barely audible. Mom promised she got rid of all of it. I close the album. Sarah, don't. She sets down the box carefully, like she's moving underwater. Please don't. Your mom told me, I say. The words come out before I can stop them. Right before she died. She told me about Rachel. Sarah's knees buckle. She catches herself on the doorframe. But just barely. The sound that comes out of her is something between a gasp and a sob. She what? She thought I should know. She said I deserve to understand who you really are. Who I really am. Sarah's voice rises, shaking with anger and pain. I'm who I've been for 10 years, James. Rachel died. She had to die. That's who I really am. I'm not judging you, I say quickly, standing up. I'm trying to understand. Understand what? That I ran away from a man who beat me unconscious and told me if I ever left he'd kill me? That I spent 6 months in a shelter before my mom helped me disappear? That I changed everything about myself because staying alive meant erasing who I used to be? She's crying now, years of locked away pain pouring out. That when I met you, I thought I'd finally found someone safe. Someone I could trust with the new life I built? And then you. She can't finish. She doesn't have to. I'm so sorry, I say, and the words feel microscopic compared to the weight of what I did. Sarah, I'm so sorry. You have no idea what it took for me to stay, she says, wiping her eyes roughly. After I found those messages, every part of me screamed to run. To pack up and disappear again. To protect myself the only way I knew how. But I was pregnant. And I loved you. And I was so tired of running. She slides down the door frame until she's sitting on the floor, hugging her knees. Mom was the only person who knew where I came from. The only person I never had to pretend with. And now she's gone. And and I feel like I'm disappearing all over again. I move toward her, but she holds up a hand. Did you tell anyone else? No. Of course not. Don't. Her voice is steel now. Whatever you think you know about me, whatever Mom told you, it stays between us. Emma doesn't know. No one knows. That's how I've stayed safe. That's how I've survived. Safe from who? I ask. Is he still looking for you? Her laugh is bitter. I don't know. That's the point. I don't know if he gave up or if he's still searching or if he even cares anymore. All I know is that Rachel Morrison vanished without a trace 10 years ago, and Sarah Jen built a life where she didn't have to look over her shoulder every day. Sarah Chan. That's her legal name now. The one on our marriage license. On Emma's birth certificate. The one she uses for everything. But it's not her real name. And I don't know what to do with that information. What do you need from me? I ask quietly. She looks up at me with red, swollen eyes. I need you to forget this conversation. I need you to never mention it again. I need you to be the husband you promised to be when we got married. The one I thought you were before Michelle. The name lands like a slap. I haven't heard it spoken out loud in 7 years. I need you to understand that I gave you everything I had, James. Everything I was capable of giving. And it almost killed me when you threw it away for someone who didn't matter. She didn't matter, I say desperately. She never mattered. Then why did you do it? It's the question she's never asked before. Not in therapy. Not in our late-night conversations during the rebuilding. Never. Why wasn't I enough? And here's the truth I've never admitted, not even to myself. Because you were too much. Too perfect. Too together. I felt like I was always chasing some version of you I could never reach. Michelle made me feel adequate. Average. Acceptable. Sarah stares at me. You cheated on me because I was too good? I cheated on you because I'm an insecure coward who couldn't handle being married to someone stronger than me, I said. That's the truth. That's the pathetic, ugly truth. She nods slowly, like something has finally clicked into place. At least you finally said it. We sit in her dead mother's house, surrounded by boxes of a life being dismantled, and I realize this is my second confession in 2 weeks. First Carol's revelation about who my wife really is. Now my admission about who I really am. The difference is, Sarah already knew what I was. She knew the moment she found those messages. She just stayed anyway. I'm taking the photo album, Sarah says, standing up stiffly. And anything else of Rachel's that might be here. I'm burning it. All of it. Are you sure? She's dead, James. She's been dead for 10 years. I can't keep living with her ghost in boxes. She picks up the album, holding it like it might bite her. Then she looks at me with an expression I can't quite read. Mom was wrong to tell you. She thought it would help you understand, but all it did was force me to relive everything I've spent a decade trying to forget. So now you know. I was someone else once. Someone broken and scared and desperate. I became Sarah Chen so I could be whole. Are you okay with that? Yes, I say immediately. Even though it means you married someone who doesn't legally exist? Whose entire history is fabricated. Who lied to you every single day for 10 years. You didn't lie, I say. You survived. She studies my face for a long moment. You're saying the right words. But do you believe them? And that's the question, isn't it? Do I believe them? Can I look at my wife and not see the seams where Rachel ends and Sarah begins? Can I forget that her college stories are fiction, that her childhood friends are inventions, that even her family history is partially constructed? I believe that you're the woman I married, I say carefully. The woman who gave birth to our daughter. The woman who forgave me when I didn't deserve it. Everything else is just details. No, Sarah says sharply. It's not details. It's my life. It's the reason I react the way I do when you're late coming home. It's why I check the locks 3 times every night. It's why I nearly had a panic attack when you suggested I reconnect with my old college roommate last year. Every part of Sarah Chen was built on top of Rachel Morrison's scars. She's right. I've noticed these things, these little quirks and anxieties, but I always wrote them off as just her personality. I never connected them to anything deeper because I never knew there was anything deeper to connect them to. How bad was it? I ask. With him? Bad enough that dying seemed like a reasonable option. Her voice is matter-of-fact, which somehow makes it worse. Bad enough that when Mom found me in that shelter, I had a concussion, 3 broken ribs, and I hadn't eaten in 4 days because I'd given all my food money to the shelter to help them hide me. I feel sick. His name was Eric. We met in college. He was charming. Attentive. Everything I thought I wanted. The violence started slowly. A shove during an argument. Breaking my phone so I couldn't talk to friends. Isolating me from my family. By the time I realized what was happening, I was completely trapped. She's still holding the photo album, but she's not looking at it. She's looking through me, back into a past I can't see. The night I left, he told me he'd find me wherever I went. That I belonged to him. That running would only make it worse when he caught me. I believed him. I still believe him. That's why Rachel had to die. Because as long as she existed, he could find her. Did you report him? File charges? Sarah's laugh is hollow. And give him my location in a police report? Create a paper trail he could follow? No. Disappearing was safer. Mom helped me get a new ID, a new social security number. It cost most of her savings. I moved across the country, cut my hair, changed my name, became someone else entirely. And then you met me. And then I met you, she agrees. 3 years later, when I finally thought I might be able to trust someone again. When I convinced myself that maybe, just maybe, I could have a normal life. The implication hangs heavy between us. She trusted me, and I proved her worst fears correct. Not with physical violence, but with emotional betrayal. With showing her that even in this new life, with this new name, she still wasn't safe from being hurt. Sarah, I start, but I don't know how to finish. What can I possibly say? I need to get out of here, she says abruptly. This house. These memories. I can't do this right now. She walks out, still carrying the album. I hear her car start a moment later. She's gone. I stand alone in Carol's living room, surrounded by boxes and the ghost of a girl named Rachel Morrison who died so my wife could live. And I understand, finally, what I really did 3 years ago. I didn't just cheat on my wife. I shattered the one place where someone who'd lost everything thought she might be safe. Sarah doesn't come home that night. I call her phone 6 times. It goes straight to voicemail. I text her. Nothing. By midnight, I'm pacing the house, trying to decide if I should call the police or wait. By 2 in the morning, I'm sitting in Emma's doorway, watching our 7-year-old daughter sleep, wondering if this is how it ends. If Sarah finally did what every instinct told her to do 7 years ago and ran. She shows up at dawn. I hear the garage door open and nearly collapse with relief. She walks past me without a word, goes upstairs, showers, and gets ready for work like it's any other morning. When Emma wakes up, Sarah makes her breakfast and helps her pick out clothes for school. She's perfectly normal. Perfectly Sarah. It's terrifying. Where were you? I ask when Emma goes to brush her teeth. A hotel. Her voice is flat. I needed to think. You could have told me. I was worried sick. She looks at me then, really looks at me, and there's something different in her eyes. Something harder. Now you know how it feels. Not knowing where someone is. Wondering if they're coming back. If they're safe. If they still want to be with you. The comparison is unfair and completely accurate. This must have been how she felt during those 6 months with Michelle. Coming home to me every day not knowing if I was texting another woman. Wondering when I'd leave. If I'd leave. Living in constant uncertainty. I'm sorry, I say again. The words are becoming meaningless. Stop apologizing. She rinses Emma's cereal bowl. Apologizing doesn't change anything. It doesn't undo what you did. It doesn't undo what Mom did by telling you. We are where we are. Where are we? I don't know yet. Emma bounces back into the kitchen, backpack on, ready for school. Sarah kisses her forehead and tells her to have a good day. I drive Emma to school like always. When I get back, Sarah is gone. Off to work. The house feels like a stage set, everything in its place but nothing real. That becomes our pattern. We coexist. We parent. We maintain the facade. But something fundamental has shifted. Sarah is present but absent. There but not there. Going through the motions of being my wife without actually being my wife. 2 weeks after Carol's funeral, I come home from work to find Sarah in the garage. She's holding a cardboard box, and I can smell smoke. When I get closer, I see the burned barrel she's set up, flames looking at scraps of paper and photographs. I'm erasing her, Sarah says without looking at me. Every piece of Rachel I kept. Every reminder. It's all going. I watch her feed the album into the fire. Page by page. Photo by photo. A childhood consumed by flames. A young woman's smile turning to ash. Are you sure? I ask. I should have done it years ago. Before I met you. Before Emma. I kept thinking maybe one day I'd be strong enough to integrate her. To make peace with who I was. But I'm not. She's a weakness. A liability. She has to go. She sounds almost robotic. Like she's narrating someone else's actions. What else is in there? I gestured to the box. My old driver's license. High school yearbook. A journal from college. Letters from my dad. Everything that proves Rachel Morrison existed. She pauses, holding an envelope. There's a letter in here from him. From Eric. He sent it to my dad's house about a year after I left. Dad forwarded it to Mom, and Mom kept it to remind me why I ran. What does it say? I never read it. Mom told me the gist. He was looking for me. He missed me. He was sorry. He wanted me to come home. She laughs bitterly. Home. Like his apartment was ever anything but a prison. She throws the unopened letter into the fire. It curls and blackens, whatever words Eric wrote disappearing forever. Good, she says. He doesn't get the last word. Not anymore. But as we stand there watching Rachel's life burn, I realize something. Sarah isn't erasing her past to move forward. She's erasing it to protect herself from me. Because I know now. I'm a security risk. A weak point in the armor she's built. By destroying the evidence, she's making sure that even if I wanted to, I couldn't prove Rachel ever existed. I need you to promise me something, she says, still watching the flames. If anything ever happens to me, you tell Emma I was exactly who she thought I was. No different. No secrets. Just Mom. Nothing's going to happen to you. Promise me, James. She turns to face me, and her eyes are desperate. She doesn't need to know her mother used to be someone else. Someone broken. Someone who ran. Let her believe I was always Sarah Chen. Always her mom. Always whole. I promise, I say, because what else can I say? She nods and turns back to the fire. We stand there until everything is ash, and then Sarah goes inside and makes dinner like she didn't just incinerate her entire past. At dinner, Emma talks about her day. A boy in her class ate paste. Her teacher read them a book about dinosaurs. Normal 7-year-old stuff. Sarah engages with her, asks questions, smiles at the right moments. I watch them together and wonder if Emma can sense it. The distance. The performance. After Emma goes to bed, I try to talk to Sarah. Really talk. We need to figure this out. We can't keep living like this. Like what? Like roommates. Like strangers. She considers this. Maybe that's what we are now. Maybe that's what we've always been. You never knew me, James. Not really. You knew Sarah Chen, the character I created. And I never knew you either. I thought I did. Thought you were safe. Turned out we were both wrong. That's not fair. What's fair? She snaps. Is it fair that I had to change my name and abandon my family to stay alive? Is it fair that I finally felt safe enough to love someone and he emotionally cheated on me? Is it fair that my mother told my deepest secret to that same man on her deathbed? Tell me, James, what part of any of this is fair? She's right. None of it is fair. Fairness has nothing to do with where we are. I want to fix this, I say. Tell me how to fix this. You can't fix it. That's what you don't understand. Some things can't be fixed. They can only be endured or ended. She stands up. I'm going to bed. I sleep on the couch that night. And the next night, and the one after that. It becomes our new normal. Work becomes my escape. I throw myself into projects, stay late at the office, take on extra assignments. Anything to avoid the hollow shell of my marriage. My co-workers notice. Everything okay at home? My boss asks during a one-on-one meeting. Fine, a lie. Just busy. But I'm not fooling anyone. I look like hell. I've lost weight. I'm not sleeping. I'm pretty sure there are rumors going around the office about marital problems, maybe an impending divorce. The irony isn't lost on me. 7 years ago, this same office gossip mill would have been buzzing about my inappropriate relationship with Michelle. Now they're speculating about my marriage falling apart. Different symptoms, same disease. Me. One evening, I come home to find Sarah in Emma's room, reading to her. It's a picture book about a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. Emma is curled up against her mom, thumb in her mouth even though she's too old for that now. Sarah's voice is gentle, patient, everything a mother should be. I stand in the hallway and watch them, and something breaks inside me. Because this is real. This love between mother and daughter. This is the one true thing in our house right now. Everything else might be constructed or broken or fake, but this is authentic. Sarah looks up and sees me. For just a moment, her mask slips, and I see pain so deep it takes my breath away. Then it's gone, replaced by polite neutrality. Say good night to Daddy, she tells Emma. Night, Daddy. Emma waves sleepily. Night, sweetheart. I blow her a kiss. Sarah finishes the story, tucks Emma in, and turns on her nightlight. We leave the room together, and for a moment in the hallway, we're standing close enough to touch. But neither of us does. She looks like you, I say quietly. More every day. She looks like Sarah Chan's daughter. Sarah corrects. That's who she is. That's all she needs to be. Do you ever think about? I stop, not sure if I should continue. About what? About your dad. Your real family. If they know about Emma. If they wonder where you are. Her jaw tightens. My dad knows I'm alive. Mom made sure of that. She sent him a letter years ago saying I was safe, happy, and not to look for me. That was the kindest thing she could do for both of us. He respected it. That's all the contact I've had with my old life since I left. Does he know you got married? That he has a granddaughter? No. And he never will. That door is closed, James. Locked. Sealed shut. Stop trying to open it. But I can't stop thinking about it. Somewhere out there is a man who doesn't know his daughter is alive and well. Who doesn't know he has a granddaughter. Who probably spent years wondering if Rachel was dead or alive. All because his daughter's boyfriend was a monster. What if Eric is dead? I ask. What if he's not a threat anymore? Would you ever consider reconnecting? Sarah stops walking. Turns to face me. Is that what you want? For me to reconnect with my past? To verify my story? To prove I'm not just some crazy woman who made all this up? No, You just what? Think maybe I'm exaggerating? Think maybe I'm being paranoid? Think maybe Rachel Morrison wasn't in as much danger as Sarah Chan claims? I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She walks away, into her bedroom, and closes the door. Not slams it. Just closes it with careful, deliberate finality. I stand in the hallway, and I realize I've done it again. Questioned her. Doubted her. Made her feel unsafe in her own story. The story she had to build to survive. I really am an idiot. The next morning, Sarah doesn't speak to me at all. She gets Emma ready and leaves early. I get myself ready for work in silence, and when I go to leave, I notice something on the kitchen counter. A piece of paper. On it, Sarah has written a single sentence in her careful handwriting. Stop trying to solve me. I'm not a puzzle. I'm a person who survived. I fold a note and put it in my wallet. It stays there. At work, I can't concentrate. I keep thinking about that note. About Sarah. About Rachel. About the woman I married who is both and neither. About the fact that I still don't really know her, and maybe I never will. Maybe she won't let me. Maybe I don't deserve to. During lunch, I do something I know I shouldn't. I go to the public library and use their computer to search for Rachel Morrison in Oregon. I find her. Or rather, I find traces of her. A high school track team roster from 15 years ago. A Dean's List mention from Portland State. A brief article about a missing person report filed by her father 12 years ago, later withdrawn. That stops me cold. Her father filed a missing person report. He was looking for her, worried about her, and then he withdrew it. Probably after Carol contacted him. Told him Rachel was alive but couldn't be found. Couldn't come home. I imagine what that must have been like. Knowing your daughter is out there somewhere but not being able to see her. Talk to her. Know if she's really okay or if someone is forcing her to stay away. The uncertainty of it. The grief of losing a child who isn't dead. Then I search for Eric. I don't have a last name, but I search for domestic violence arrests in the Portland area around the time Rachel would have left. I find dozens. Hundreds. Oregon, like everywhere, has a domestic violence problem. None of the names jump out at me. None of the mugshots look like someone I'd recognize. But then again, I wouldn't recognize him. I don't know what he looks like. Sarah never described him beyond charming. She didn't keep photos. There's no evidence he ever existed except for the scars he left behind. I close the browser and clear the history. I feel dirty. Like I've betrayed Sarah all over again. She told me her story in confidence, in pain, and here I am trying to fact-check it like a journalist. What's wrong with me? When I get home that evening, Sarah's car is already in the garage. I walk in to find her and Emma baking cookies together. The kitchen smells like vanilla and chocolate chips. Emma's face is covered in flour. Sarah is laughing at something our daughter said. It looks perfect. It looks like a stock photo of domestic bliss. It looks like everything I almost destroyed and might be destroying again. Daddy. Emma runs to hug me, leaving floury handprints on my work pants. We're making cookies. Want to help? Sure, sweetheart. I join them at the counter. Sarah hands me a spoon without looking at me. We work together in careful choreography, passing ingredients, rolling dough, placing cookies on trays. Emma chatters non-stop, filling the silence between her parents with the sound of childhood innocence. When the cookies are in the oven, Emma goes to watch TV. Sarah starts cleaning up, and I help. We work in silence until finally, she speaks. I know what you did today. My blood turns to ice. What? You searched for her. For Rachel. I can tell. You have that look. Like you found something you weren't supposed to find. I don't deny it. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. She scrubs the mixing bowl with more force than necessary. Just stop. Your apologies don't mean anything anymore. They're just words. Empty words. Then what do you want from me? She stops scrubbing. Sets down the bowl. Looks at me with eyes that are both exhausted and furious. I want you to trust me. To believe me. To stop trying to investigate my past like I'm a suspect in some crime. I want you to accept that Sarah Chan is who I am now, and Rachel Morrison is dead, and that's the end of the story. But it's not the end. She's still affecting everything. Every decision you make. Every fear you have. She's not dead, Sarah. She's just hidden. Then maybe she needs to stay hidden. Sarah's voice is rising. Maybe that's what keeps us all safe. Did you think about that? Did you think about what happens if you dig too deep and somehow he finds out? If there's some digital trail that leads back to me? To Emma? That's not going to happen. You don't know that. She's shouting now, something she almost never does. You don't know what he's capable of. You don't know how obsessed he was. He told me he'd kill me before he let me go, James. He told me he'd find me wherever I went. And you're over here playing detective like this is some fun mystery to solve. Emma appears in the doorway, eyes wide. Mommy? Why are you yelling? Sarah's face immediately softens. She goes to Emma and kneels down. I'm sorry, baby. Mommy and Daddy were just having a disagreement. We're okay. Why don't you go back to your show? The cookies will be ready soon. Are you and Daddy going to get divorced? Emma asks in a small voice. The question hangs in the air like a bomb. Sarah and I look at each other over our daughter's head. No, sweetheart, Sarah says firmly. We're not getting divorced. Daddy and I love each other very much. We're just figuring some things out. Okay? Emma nods uncertainly and goes back to the living room. Sarah stands up slowly. You see what you're doing? You see what this is doing to her? I'm not the only one doing it, I say quietly. We're both doing it. This cold war between us. She feels it. Then maybe we need to decide what we're doing. Sarah leans against the counter. Are we trying to fix this marriage, or are we just running out the clock? Because I can't keep living in limbo. It's not fair to Emma, and it's not fair to me. What about what's fair to me? The words come out before I can stop them, and I regret them immediately. Sarah's expression hardens into something I've never seen before. Something cold and utterly disgusted. Fair to you? Fair to you? She laughs, but there's no humor in it. You cheated on me, James. You. Not some evil twin. Not some mistake. You made a choice, every single day for 6 months, to betray me, to talk to another woman, to share parts of yourself that should have been mine. And now you're worried about what's fair to you? That's not what I meant. Yes, it is. Because that's who you are. Someone who centers himself. Even now. Even after everything. You're the victim in your own story. Poor James, married to a woman with secrets. Poor James, trying so hard to understand his complicated wife. Poor James, who made one tiny mistake and can't figure out why she won't just get over it. Each word is a knife, and they're all hitting their target. Well, let me tell you what's fair, James. What's fair is that you get to live with the consequences of your choices. Just like I live with the consequences of mine. I chose to trust you, to build a life with you, to believe you were different. And I was wrong. That's on me. But you chose to betray that trust. And now you get to live in a marriage where your wife can't look at you without remembering what you did. That's fair. The oven timer goes off. The cookies are ready. Sarah takes them out, plates them, and calls Emma back to the kitchen. We sit at the table, the three of us, eating warm chocolate chip cookies. Emma is happy. Sarah is composed. I am hollow. After Emma goes to bed, Sarah goes to the bedroom. I hear the lock click. I'm back on the couch. At 3 in the morning, I wake up to find Sarah standing in the living room, looking at me. She's wearing an old t-shirt and pajama pants. Her hair is messy. She looks like she's been crying. I can't do this anymore, she whispers. My heart stops. Can't do what? This. Us. Pretending. I thought I could. I thought if I just pushed through, we'd eventually get back to normal. But there is no normal. Not anymore. Not for us. I sit up. Sarah, I want you to move out. The words land like a physical blow. What? I need space. I need to figure out who I am without you looking over my shoulder, without feeling like I have to perform being your wife every single day. I need to remember who Sarah Chan is when she's alone. What about Emma? You can see her whenever you want. Every other weekend. Wednesdays for dinner. Whatever schedule works. But I need you out of this house. Are we getting divorced? She's quiet for a long moment. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I don't know how to forgive you, James. I don't know how to trust you again. And I'm tired of trying. I want to argue. To beg. To promise things will get better. But looking at her face, I know she's right. We're not getting better. We're just getting worse in slow motion. When do you want me to leave? This weekend. I'll help you pack. We'll tell Emma together. Make it as easy on her as we can. Okay, I say, because what else can I say? Sarah nods and goes back to the bedroom. I hear the lock click again. I lie back down on the couch and stare at the ceiling until sunrise. The next 3 days are surreal. We're polite to each other. Civil. We discuss logistics. Where I'll live. What I'll take. How we'll split expenses. It's all very adult and reasonable and absolutely gutting. On Saturday morning, we sit Emma down together. Sarah holds her hand. I hold my breath. Sweetie, Sarah starts gently. Daddy is going to be living in a different house for a while. Emma's face crumbles. Why? Because Mommy and Daddy need some space to work on some grown-up stuff, Siri explains. But we both love you so much. And you're going to see Daddy all the time. Nothing about how much we love you is changing. But I don't want Daddy to leave, Emma sobs. I want us to stay together. I pull her into my lap. She's crying, and I'm crying, and Sarah is holding it together for all of us. I know, sweetheart. I know. But sometimes grown-ups need to make hard choices. This doesn't mean we don't love you. It just means Mommy and Daddy need to figure some things out. Is it my fault? Emma asks, and my heart shatters. No, Sarah and I say in unison. Not even a little bit, Sarah continues. This has nothing to do with you. You are perfect and wonderful and the best thing that ever happened to both of us. This is about Mommy and Daddy, not about you. We hold her while she cries. We answer her questions. We promise her nothing important will change, even though everything already has. That afternoon, I load my car with suitcases and boxes. Sarah helps, handing me things, making sure I don't forget anything. We're a team again, for this one last task. Ending our marriage with the same efficiency we've approached everything else. Emma watches from the porch, clutching her stuffed rabbit. Sarah stands beside her, one hand on our daughter's shoulder. They look like a photograph. Mother and child. A complete unit that doesn't need me. I get in my car. Start the engine. Look back at them one more time. Sarah's face is carefully blank, but I can see the relief underneath. Relief that I'm leaving. Relief that she can stop performing. Relief that she can be whoever she needs to be without me watching. And I realize that Carol was wrong. She thought telling me the truth would help me understand Sarah, help me love her better. But all it did was show me how badly I'd already failed. I drive away from my house, my wife, my daughter. The GPS directs me to a furnished apartment across town. 1 bedroom. Monthly lease. The kind of place people live when their lives fall apart. I unpack my boxes in silence. Hang up my clothes. Put my toothbrush in the bathroom. Set up my laptop on the small desk in the corner. This is my life now. This sterile apartment. This loneliness. This consequence. I sit on the edge of the bed and pull out my wallet. Inside is the note Sarah wrote. Stop trying to solve me. I'm not a puzzle. I'm a person who survived. I read it over and over until the words blur. Until I realize something. She survived Eric. She survived leaving her entire life behind. She survived building a new identity from scratch. She survived her mother dying. She survived my betrayal. She'll survive this too. Survive me leaving. Survive our marriage ending. Survive being a single mother. Sarah Chen is built for survival. It's who she is. It's what she does. But me? I'm not sure I know how to survive without her. Without Emma. Without the family I took for granted and slowly destroyed. My phone buzzes. A text from Sarah. Emma wants to say goodnight. A video call comes through. Emma's tear-stained face fills the screen. Hi, Daddy. Hi, sweetheart. How are you doing? Sad. I miss you. I miss you too. So much. But I'll see you Wednesday for dinner, okay? We'll go somewhere fun. Okay. She sniffles. Mommy says I can call you whenever I want. That's right. Anytime. Day or night. I'm always here for you. We talk for a few more minutes before Sarah gently says it's time for bed. Emma blows me a kiss through the screen. I blow one back. Then she's gone. I'm alone in my new apartment, surrounded by boxes, living the consequence of every choice I made that led here. Every text to Michelle. Every lie. Every time I chose my ego over my marriage. Every moment I failed to understand what a gift Sarah gave me by letting me in. And the worst part is, I can't even blame her for leaving. She stayed longer than she should have. Gave me more chances than I deserved. Tried harder than anyone should have to make it work out. I didn't just lose my wife. I lost someone who chose me after losing everything else. Someone who trusted me with her new life. Someone who survived hell and thought she'd found safety. And I proved her wrong. The first month in the apartment is a blur of takeout containers and sleepless nights. I see Emmett twice a week. Wednesday dinners and every other weekend. Each time I pick her up, Sarah is cordial. Distant. We exchange information about Emma's schedule, her schoolwork, her dental appointment. We're co-parents now. Strangers bound by a child. Emma cries every time I drop her off. It gets a little better each week, but not much. She's made me a drawing for my apartment. It shows 3 stick figures holding hands. She's labeled them Mommy, Daddy, and me. The figures are separated by a giant crack in the ground. I hang it on my refrigerator and stare at it every morning while I drink coffee alone. Work is my escape again. I take on every project offered. Stay late. Come in early. My performance review is glowing. My boss mentions a promotion. I accept numbly. What else do I have to focus on? My co-workers still whisper. Now they know for sure. James is separated. Living alone. Marriage fell apart. Some look at me with pity. Others with judgment. A few of the single women have started being friendlier. It makes my skin crawl. I'm not interested. I'm not even remotely interested. The idea of being with anyone who isn't Sarah feels impossible. Ridiculous. Like suggesting I replace my lungs with someone else's. 6 weeks after I move out, Sarah texts me, "We need to talk." Not about Emma. About us. Can you come over Saturday morning? I spend the next 3 days alternating between hope and dread. Maybe she wants to reconcile. Maybe she's filing for divorce. Maybe she's met someone else. That last thought makes me physically ill. Saturday morning, I show up at what used to be my house. Sarah answers the door. She looks tired. Thinner. She's wearing jeans and one of my old college sweatshirts that she kept. I don't know if that means anything. Emma's at a playdate, she says. We have a few hours. We sit in the living room. The couch where I slept for weeks. The coffee table where we used to do puzzles with Emma. Everything is the same and completely different. I've been in therapy, Sarah starts. Since you left. Processing everything. My past. Us. What I want. Okay. My therapist asked me something that I couldn't answer. She asked me what I would need from you to even consider reconciliation. And I realized I don't know. I don't know if there's anything you could do or say that would make me trust you again. My heart sinks. So this is it? You want a divorce? I'm trying to figure that out. She pulls her legs up under her, the way she always does when she's thinking. The thing is, James, I've spent 10 years building a life based on controlling. Controlling my identity. My environment. My relationships. Making sure nothing and no one could hurt me the way Eric did. And then you came along, and I chose to give up some of that control. To trust you. To be vulnerable. She pauses, picking at a thread on the sweatshirt. And you broke that trust. Not violently. Not with your fists. But you broke it. And my brain can't tell the difference. Betrayal is betrayal. Whether it's a man telling you he'll kill you if you leave or a husband texting another woman in the middle of the night. My trauma response doesn't distinguish. I understand, I say quietly. Do you really? She looks at me directly. Because I don't think you do. I don't think you understand what it means to have your sense of safety completely destroyed. To have to rebuild yourself from nothing. To spend every day wondering if the life you've created will suddenly implode. That's been my reality for 10 years. And when you cheated, you confirmed my worst fear. That even here, even as Sarah Chen, even with a new name and a new life, I still wasn't safe from being hurt. The words land like they're supposed to. Heavy. True. Devastating. My therapist asked me something else, Sarah continues. She asked if I stayed with you after the affair because I loved you or because I was too afraid to be alone. Because running again seemed harder than staying. What did you tell her? I told her I don't know. And that terrifies me. Because if I stayed out of fear, then our entire marriage since then has been a lie. Emma was born from a lodge. These last 7 years have been me pretending to have moved on when really I was just too paralyzed to leave. She's crying now, not sobbing, just tears sliding down her face while she talks. It's somehow worse than hysterics. But here's the thing, James. I'm not paralyzed anymore. Having you gone, having space to breathe, having time to think without you there watching me, analyzing me, trying to fix me. It's shown me that I can survive without you. That Sarah Chen doesn't need a husband to exist. She just needs herself. So you want a divorce? It's not a question this time. I don't know what I want. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm angry at you. I'm hurt. I don't trust you. But I also... She stops. Wipes her eyes. I also still love you. Or I love the version of you I thought you were. I don't know if that man exists anymore. If he ever existed. If I just created him the same way I created Sarah Chen. A fiction to make my life bearable. We sit in silence. The clock on the wall ticks. Outside, a neighbor is mowing their lawn. Normal Saturday sounds for a conversation about whether our marriage is real or just another construction built on trauma and survival. Can I tell you something? I ask. Okay. I've spent the last 6 weeks thinking about what Carol told me. About Rachel. About who you were before. And I keep coming back to this one thought. I lean forward, hands clasped. You survived something horrific. You rebuilt yourself. You created a whole new identity. You did something incredibly brave and strong. And I was so focused on the deception of it, on the fact that you lied about your past, that I never stopped to appreciate the courage it took. Sarah is watching me carefully. You let me in, I continue. After everything you've been through, after learning that trusting someone could get you killed, you still chose to trust me, to marry me, to have a child with me. Do you have any idea how extraordinary that is? It wasn't extraordinary, she says quietly. It was foolish. Because look where it got me. No, it wasn't foolish. I was foolish. I was the one who didn't understand what you were giving me. I thought you were just this together, perfect woman who had her life figured out. I never understood that you were giving me something you'd never given anyone else. Your real self. The person underneath Sarah Chen. The survivor. You didn't know Rachel. But I knew you. The real you. The woman who checks the locks 3 times. Who flinches when I raise my voice even though I've never hurt you. Who keeps a bag packed in the back of the closet just in case. I saw all those things and I wrote them off as quirks instead of recognizing them as scars. Instead of asking what you survived to become the person I married. Sarah is really crying now. I didn't want you to know. I didn't want to be that person. The victim. The damaged one. I wanted to be Sarah Chen. Strong. Whole. Unbroken. But you are strong. You are whole. The fact that you survived, that you rebuilt, that you kept going. That's not weakness. That's not being broken. That's being the strongest person I've ever met. Then why did you cheat on me? The question comes out raw. If I was so strong, if you understood what I'd given you, why did you throw it away for someone who didn't matter? And here it is. The question I've avoided answering honestly even to myself. Because I'm weak, I say. Because I'm insecure and selfish and I couldn't handle being married to someone stronger than me. You made me feel inadequate just by existing. By being so capable. So together. I needed someone to make me feel like the strong one. Like I was helping them instead of being helped. Michelle made me feel useful. Important. Better than I was. And I chose the temporary ego boost over the woman who actually loved me. Sarah is staring at me. That's the first honest thing you've said since this whole thing started. I know. You resented me for being strong. Yes. For surviving. Yes. She stands up abruptly and walks to the window. Looks out at the yard where Emma plays. Where we used to have barbecues. Where we built a life that looked perfect from the outside while rot ate away at the foundation. I need to show you something, she says finally. She leaves the room and comes back with a laptop. Opens it. Pulls up a document. Hands it to me. It's a legal name change document. But not from Rachel Morrison to Sarah Chen. This one is newer. Dated 3 weeks ago. It shows Sarah Chen legally changing her name to Sarah Morrison Chen. I added it back, she says. My real surname. Not to be Rachel again. But to acknowledge that she existed. That she's part of who I am. My therapist said I've been treating my past like an infection.